Habit 1. Be proactive.
But what does proactive mean?
We don't know! JK. Rollin'.
There are two types of people in this world, proactive and reactive people. Proactive people think and choose their responses before they act, and they take responsibility for their choices. While reactive people make choices based on feelings, moods, and emotions. The choice to be either one is yours. In order to be a proactive person, you must pause, think, and do. Pause before you make any rash decisions. Think about how you want to react and do the most proactive thing.
Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind.
Begin with the end in mind means having a final goal before you start acting upon it. Some real-life examples include blueprints, recipes, and outlines.
Habit 3. Put
first things first.
In your life, you have both big rocks and small ones. In order to stay organized and try not to get overwhelmed, you must first identify the big rocks, or the most important tasks. Then, you must block out the time for your big rock activities. This means that you should schedule the important things first. Plan them out so that the less important things don't fill up all your time. After you've done that, schedule time for everything else, or fit the smaller rocks.
Habit 4. Think.
Win.
There are 4 different types of paradigms. Win-lose, which can also be referred as the totem pole, is both competitive and proud. Lose-win, or the doormat, is weak. It's an attitude that encourages setting low expectations and compromising your standards. Lose-lose, or the downward spiral, is negative. It says, if I'm going down, then you're going down with me. Finally, it comes down to win-win, or the all-you-can-eat buffet. Win-win is both nice and tough at once. It says, it's not either you or me, it's both of us.
Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
There's a reason why you have 2 ears and only 1 mouth. In order to follow this habit, you must first listen and then get your point across after. Most people pretend to listen but aren't really listening. In order to properly listen, you must listen with your eyes, heart, and ears, stand in their shoes, and practice mirroring. Once the other person has gotten their point across and you have actually considered it, then you can get your point across. Be patient.
Habit 6. Synergize.
In order to get to synergy, one must always define the problem or opportunity, then seek first to understand the ideas of others, then seek to be understood by sharing your ideas, then create new options and ideas, and finally find the best solution.
Habit 7. Sharpen the saw.
The final habit is giving yourself some time to relax.
There are 4 dimensions: body, brain, heart, and soul. The body is the physical dimension. In order to sharpen that saw, you must exercise, eat healthy, sleep well, and relax. The brain is the mental dimension. You must read, educate, write, and learn new skills to work on that dimension. The heart is the emotional dimension. You can fortify the heart by building relationships, giving service, and laughing. Ha 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 ha. Lastly, the soul is the spiritual dimension. You can meditate, keep a journal, pray, and take in quality media to work on that dimension.
How we will apply this to our lives.
Being proactive. I am gonna incorporate habit 1 in my life by using the pause, think, do method whenever something happens to me, especially if it's negative. Instead of thinking the most negative thing to say or do, I'm gonna take a moment to look at the positive side of the event to help me. I'm sure an attitude change can help anyone become more effective.
The general idea of beginning with the end in mind is that we should undertake our efforts with a clear understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. In order to incorporate this into our lives, we need to have our final goal set in our mind and strive to accomplish it.
For putting first things first, I plan to choose which are big and small rocks every week. I will get myself a planner to write down the big rocks of the week so that I can tackle them more efficiently and have leftover time for the little rocks.
In order to think win-win, you must compromise with the other person to make sure you both end up in a winning solution, thus win-win. The way to do it is to avoid comparing yourself to others and to avoid competition. Instead of doing that, I will focus on my goals that go according to my pace without looking over to someone else and getting sad when they're doing better than me. Also, instead of having a competition with someone, why not work together instead? That is how I think win-win.
In order to seek first to understand, then to be understood, I will practice my active listening skills with people to get a better understanding of what they're trying to communicate to me. This will help me with my parents, teachers, classmates, and friends.
Synergizing has taught me the right way to work in teams. From now on, when I am put to work in groups for school, I will use the highway method to work together efficiently with all my teammates. This also ties in with habit number 5 by listening to others first, then sharing my opinions. That will help us work together.
Lastly, sharpening the saw, I will make sure I do not push myself too hard and give myself some time to rest and take care of myself so I can continue to be efficient and effective.
Some ways to do this are exercising, eating healthy, getting enough sleep, reading, learning, expressing myself, laughing, building relationships, and most importantly, giving myself time to do what I like to do.
Made by
Bonnie
and
Dani
Molina!
Yay!
Yay!